Hello summoners, welcome back to the channel, and this is a guide on Symbiote Supreme. So first of all, a huge shout out to Jordan for providing this gameplay. This is a 6-star rank 3 Symbiote Supreme, and first of all we're going to be talking about genetic potential. So it is the thing that you see on the top, like beside the bleed there, a spider thing with the 100 written on it. So you get stagger, each time a buff or stagger effect is applied on the opponent, you gain 25 genetic potential, and you can stack up till 100. And if you nullify any buffs, then you get 50 genetic potential. And you need to make sure whenever you're using your SP3 and after that you get the mega damage, you should be at 100 genetic potential, otherwise the abilities will fall off much quicker. So whenever you use your SP3, all three phases of Symbiote Supreme occur simultaneously, which makes him really crazy for a lot of stuff, especially using his SP2 here. Like you can get the power steal, get the weakness, and get the armor breaks on all at the same time. So whenever he switches mode, like Symbiote Supreme, whenever he switches his modes, he loses all the genetic potential, and he gains one bar of power basically. So first ability here is I won't pronounce it, but it is the thing in the box there. It has the 100% chance to nullify all buffs on the opponent, and it does direct damage passively for each buff nullified. And like here, this one it gives him a big armor up. He can only take a 15 a certain percentage of chance, he has Iceman just takes 5% damage, so in that way you can only lose I think 15% of your health maximum. And the third phase is set fangs, so this gives you a big fury, and you have 100% chance to deal a lot of bleed damage on every single hit, dealing up to a certain amount of damage. This current number is based on a rank 5 5-star, but this will do more because it's a rank 3 6-star. Whenever you use your SP2, depending on which phase you are, you get different effects. So in one phase you get the weakness, which is not that worth it I guess, but in the second phase you get the power steal, which is great for especially for these flow nodes and alliance wars and power, anything which has a lot of power gain. And the third phase will give you the armor break, and it's a pretty decent armor break. Like after the SP3 you get a lot of damage. So this is of course a 6.2 champion boss, one of the hardest fights in the entire game. Definitely the hardest fight in the entire game. For the last 10% we have a different strategy here, that we need to get dexterity on his specials to get prowess buffs, and whenever we get prowess, we will be taking one of his indestructible charges down. So right now we won't do any damage, we have 3 prowess up, and he still has 2 indestructible on, so we will have to evade it twice manually, and then we can use a big special attack. And prowess increases your damage by a very substantial amount, so you can just any champion, whenever if they get the 5 prowess, 1 special attack, and that should do it. So this Symbiote Supreme, one of the best counters to this fight. The only ones who can even come close are, in my opinion, just like Captain America Infinity War, I think, because I personally find playing him, like his animation and stuff, I'm more comfortable with him. And I also have a 6-star rank 2 Symbiote Supreme, and if I ever awaken him, he doesn't need to be awakened. We're going to talk about his awakened ability as well. So here his awakened ability gives basically places a stagger debuff every 12 almost 13 seconds, and that stagger lasts for 10 seconds. Its decent sigability gives him a guaranteed stagger, but nothing much. But his prestige is not that bad, and it's actually pretty good. So if I ever awaken him, then I'll definitely rank 3 him. Other than that, this is the Act 6.3.1 Medusa boss, the Do You Bleed node. So here Symbiote Supreme will not do any damage at all. It also has like a buffet like some kind of region. So you can only do bleed damage here. I personally used Gwenpool, I think, for this fight, and she did alright. But here, like, you're going to see the bleed damage that Symbiote Supreme can do. And Symbiote Supreme is one of those characters, like in the right matchup, there are very few characters like who can match up with him, and he just needs two things, which like the opponent should be able to bleed, and even bigger, like if the opponent has some kind of buff. So here we're going to see that we are doing actually pretty decent amount of bleed damage. He is also running suicides. Symbiote Supreme is not the, I wouldn't say that he is a suicide friendly champion, mostly because he doesn't have any immunities, which I think, like, that is I made a top 20 list and I didn't put him there. He was very close, like I put him there in first, then I removed him, but like he's around that top 20 level, and I might have placed him if he had, like, I would have definitely placed him if he would have some kind of immunity, because he has a lot of utility. Like, he can do power steal, he can place, he can nullify, he can put some armor breaks on, he can tank special attacks. Like, there is a lot he can do, and his damage output after the SP3 with the Fury on is pretty good. If you spam your SP2s, you can get the power steal, the armor breaks, and when you have all three effects up, and especially, like, always remember, do not use your SP3 when you do not have a full 100 genetic potentials on you. That is one of the most common mistakes that people do with Symbiote Supreme. So as long as you make sure you're not doing that, you should be good. I've explained all the abilities at this point, and he is just a really great character. He's a character that I think everyone should have ranked up for certain situations like this at 6.2 champion boss. So this will do it for this guide. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Stay safe. Subscribe for more content like this.